Hello, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Ongaku, the podcast where three friends come together and break down what's new in the Japanese music industry. This is the podcast for the week of January 4th, 2020. I'm your host, Ken, and with me we have Gray.
What's happening, dudes?
And Luna.
Hey everyone!
Happy New Year. Whoa.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Welcome
New
to 2020.
Regardless, how was your guys' New Year's?
Long.
Very nice.
It was really, really long, but I had a lot of fun.
That's good.
Mine was very nice and chill.
I was on a boat again with my boss having very romantic dinner.
Nice.
Ew.
My boss is a dude.
Do I smell a promotion in the future?
No.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, man.
No. But regardless, as tradition of our very first episode of the year, we break down the lovely thing called the Kohaku, which is the red and white song battle thing. And this year is really special. It comes in three folds. First, it is the first one of Reiwa.
Yep.
It's the 70th anniversary of the Kohaku.
Yep.
And it's the year that the Tokyo Olympics is going to happen, which is 2020.
And they would not let you forget that not one single second of the night, because it was brought up 1,000,001 times.
Either that or rugby. As much as I love rugby, I could live without it, without watching the World Cup ever again.
It was an interesting night. I will say that, I know we'll get into it, but I really felt like, as far as like the competition goes, because it's a battle of votes, right? They're competing. The girls are on the red team, the boys are on the white team, and so they're competing for votes to see, who has like overall best performances of the night. And I don't know about you guys, but as I was watching this, I felt like the competition wasn't even close. Like the winner, like I just felt like was so clear when the votes came in. I was like, well, yeah, like they had it clear as day. I don't know if you guys felt the same way or not.
Well, I kind of got into it knowing who won, so it kind of just didn't really surprise me. So I'm just like, oh, okay. They won because of this. Okay, I know why.
I mean, they both brought a lot of energy. However, I felt like one outdid the other pretty big, so I felt like
Yeah.
it had more impact. Although I figured it out, halfway through because I heard about it. I got it ruined for me, so.
But yeah, this is our third year of doing this. So strap in for
Yep.
another 2.5 to 3 hour excitement video. Hey man, our first video when we weren't editing was 3 hours long. So now that we are editing,
That is true.
so. But yeah, there was a lot of interesting acts this time around. And we'll get to it when we get to it. They started off with saying, this is the Olympic year. So let's start off with what they first had, which is good old Furin being an actual competitor this year, not just a special act. And they were singing their Paprika. But they did something really, really special, is that they had the Japanese Furin version, and then they had a Furin Team E version, which sung an English version of the chorus for Paprika, which is very interesting. So I guess they already made an English version. I already knew that they did that, but I was surprised that they were going to bring it on the Kohaku to do it this year.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, but I think this is really the first time that you kind of see it, but it kind of repeats itself throughout the most of the night. That this Kohaku really feels a lot more like an international focus. They feel like it's really more outwardly focused on like the global spectrum than previous Kohakus. And Furen was really like the first indication of this being 2020 in the Olympics. And it was a really nice performance all in all. I think the kids did an outstanding job. The English portion of the song is sung very, very well. And it was surprisingly good. Like I thought it was a great way to open up the show.
Gray actually took the words out of my mouth. That's pretty much exactly what I was gonna say about it. From the beginning, you can tell it's going to be very Olympic and international related with how they did Paprika. And I thought it was really well done, and it was a nice surprise bringing out the kids who did the English version as well and having them all sing together. So I thought that was really cute. And I also liked how everyone in the Kohaku in the background was all participating and singing and dancing with them. I just felt like it was a good way to bring everyone together who was participating.
That was another thing I kind of noticed this year is that they were really audience focused this time around.
Yeah, they really were. Sometimes to the detriment of the performances, because there's one or two performances where they would take the camera away from the performers and put it on the audience. And there's like one time where they're breakdancing, and like you only see a small bit of it because they're focused on the audience. And I was like, hey guys, focus on the thing. Like I don't care about who's watching the breakdancing. I want to see the breakdancing.
Well, a lot of it is they also had the rugby team there too, and I know they really wanted to focus on them, especially with the World Cup and the Olympics. So you saw a lot of their reactions as well.
Yeah, that's true. I thought that was a soccer team, not rugby team. So I'm glad you guys are clarifying that. But
They kept on saying rugby
yeah,
half the time.
I wasn't paying too attention when people started talking. I literally stopped paying attention. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, and going on next is the lovely Go Hiromi with his Ni Oku Senman Hitomi Exotic Go Go Japan. And this is literally Go Japan for the Olympics, the song entitlement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was nice that they incorporated like different athletes from various sports. Let's say that. And it was nice to see like the backstage of the Kohaku, because this whole act is kind of done backstage. But other than that, I think he did this song last year. I could be wrong.
No, he did Live in La Vida Loca.
That was it. Yeah, he did. You're right. But other than that, I really don't think like this was a standout performance.
It was typical Go Hidomi in his element. You know, his fun, very upbeat style. I did like that he went around all the different sports players. But I just felt like, typical song from him, typical performance, very high energy, gets everyone involved.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, his high energy is gonna help that out, and that kind of song. When we get to next year's one, I wonder what they're gonna do, if they're gonna invite him on next year, if what's gonna happen. But it's literally a good, hey, we are cheering on the athletes that are participating for the Olympics, specifically for Japan, and that's really good for them. So, but we'll see.
It is.
We'll see.
It gives them the energy and excitement to look forward to the Olympics and practice hard. And a high energy song like that'll keep them going.
Yep, that's for darn sure. But yeah, going on next is the lovely Aiko with Hanabi.
She's adorable. I love Aiko.
Yeah, I
She's
love
so
Aiko.
Freaking cute.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that they brought on Hanabi of all things. I mean, it's one of her more famous songs, but this is going to be a lovely trend that we're going to be seeing, where they're going to be bringing on hits from the Heisei era and not really talking about new songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this whole show felt like a tribute to the Heisei era in a
Yeah.
weird way. But I felt like they did this song more for the Olympics, maybe, than necessarily Heisei tribute, because it is about fireworks, and they do like the firework motif, and fireworks is very closely associated with the Olympics. So my thought was this was more for the Olympics, the 2020 Olympic Games, than it was anything else. I actually didn't know this was one of her more popular songs.
Yeah, that's that's one of the major reasons, probably why they kind of made two and two together. It's one of her more popular songs, and it's in distant arm length related to Celebration and Olympics and all that lovely jazz.
Yeah, and she had her best album come out last year, so I wasn't surprised they picked one of her more famous songs. when Hanabi came on, I'm like, oh, okay, that it wasn't newer, but I'm like, well, that's still a good choice.
I did love how that song started out though, because it starts with her in the audience talking to like a couple of people in the audience, and then
She
the song
was,
kicks in and she's still sitting in her chair when she starts singing. And I thought that was really cool how she made her way from the audience to the stage. I thought that was really well done.
yeah, and she was sitting with one of the rugby players, which was kind of neat and getting them involved. So
It was good to see how they kind of kicked off the first three acts there. Continuing on, it is the lovely Generations with Experience Greatness, one of the only LDH members to actually be on the Kohaku this year. But
they are.
it was interesting to see nonetheless. The amount of extras were freaking amazing to see, and it's a different style what I'm used to seeing LDH do, but it's interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, I really felt like this was a really good song choice, especially considering what this was here for and the simple fact that, this was for the Olympics. Experience Greatness really fits that theme and motif. They were doing like a salute to golf because they had the golf thing going on in the background, and so you got to see that play out, which was really nice. And it was a really good act altogether. All the dancers, extra dancers were really nice, and they had a wide range of people from, little kids about 10, 12 years old to teenagers, maybe some young adults thrown in there. And I mean, it was a nice range of people, and I really felt like they did a good job with the choreography. And I mean, they really represented their brand well, and it was really nice to see Generations on that stage. And I hope they get to come back next year. And this is one of the few songs that we're going to talk about that came out within the past year.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good performance. I loved all the dancers in the background. The vocals are very good. I thought it was a fun, upbeat performance to get everyone energized.
And speaking of energizing, let's continue on to our next act, which is the lovely Hinata Zaka 46 with Kyun 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 no Dashite. God damn that song.
So I didn't hate it as much as I remembered. I mean, I still think they copied off a certain song. However, it wasn't as I didn't hate it as much because it sounded very good live, and
Yeah.
I thought their outfits were really freaking cute, and their dancing was very good, and their harmonies. So they put on a great performance.
That's one of the things that I actually really did like of it, is that they performed a lot of these songs very, very well live. And I think that took me out of it just from, usually seeing it on the music video. Like a lot of these songs like that I used to really get irritated by. It wasn't as bad this time around. Well, maybe because I haven't heard it in a while. But seeing it live was a kind of nice refresher to see it kind of right there in front of my face kind of thing.
Yeah, that's how I felt with this, because as soon as it came up, my husband was sitting right next to me, and I'm like, oh, I hate this song. And he's like, why? And I said, well, one, I just kind of found it annoying when I heard it, and two, it sounds like another song. And he heard it, he's like, oh, this is actually really fun. I'm just looking like, you're just being a jerk. And then I listened to it. I thought he was doing that just to piss me off. And then listening to it live, I had a little bit different perspective, and I kind of changed my tune because they did such a good performance. And my husband actually enjoyed it, which is weird because he isn't really into Japanese music. He likes Kyari, and that's it.
I think I know what to get him now. I'll get him.
It was a great performance, and it made me enjoy the song. So
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I've always liked Kyun, and I felt like this was a really solid performance. And I actually really liked the choreography too. I really felt like, it was really well done. It was kind of simple, but it was interesting nonetheless and really, really well executed. And Luna's right. This was just an absolutely stellar performance by these girls. They're really great, and it was really, really nice to see them on stage.
But yeah, continuing on up, it is the lovely Junretsu with their song Happy Birthday.
I'm not crazy about this song. It is nice and fun, and it was really cool to see Da Pump up there dancing behind them,
I was gonna
mixed in
say,
with the stage.
were you here on the episode when this initially debuted?
I think so.
Because it
I
was,
thought it
think
was a
so.
lot of fun.
yeah, the music video was alright, and I did like it, but seeing it live was kind of a little bit jarring, mostly because I'm not used to seeing them in person without the Obasans surrounding him.
Yeah, I think I liked it a little bit more when we covered it the first time around. Not so much this time. I mean, I didn't hate the song, and I did feel like it was a really good performance. But it's just an odd song, I guess. Is like just like the nature of the song. It's just kind of weird.
Oh,
But
this is their most popular song too. It
oh
it really won
yeah,
a lot of people over.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fun, and I liked seeing the pump dance with them. I think that really made it for me. So
What's really funny is that I was talking to my coworker about this, and Junretsu, they're really tall guys, and the pump are kind of shorter in stature, and them being dancing behind them made them look like yellow kids just dancing around.
well, Da Pump was in those bright yellow outfits, and I was like, "Ow!" They kind of hurt my eyes a little bit. But
That's the only way they could stand out. Otherwise, they look like little children.
yep, they were very recognizable though. So, and I did like their yellow outfits because they were so flashy.
Let me tell you this much: when they were singing that song, I just kept on humming "Happy, Happy, Happy Birthday." But yeah, continuing on up, it's actually the Johnny Juniors in one of many 2020 Olympic medleys.
yes.
So it's interesting. The song was, I believe it's "Let's Go to the 2020 Olympics." I believe that's what it's called.
Let's go to 2020 Tokyo.
Yeah, 2020 Tokyo. There we go. And it's interesting to see because we are seeing literally the future stars, which I'm gonna hear Gray just not just go bonkers over for the next 2 years to my detrimental.
Well, if they keep up this kind of performance, you're going to be 100% right, because my god, did they kill it on this song. Like this, it was really short and sweet, but my god, it was nice and sweet at the same time, because it was just really well done. I love the performance that they had doing this song, and it was really nice to see like all the Johnny's Juniors together as like a singular unit doing a song. I don't think that's something that we're going to see a ton of. So it was really nice to have like that moment where, you know, they are all on stage and you can kind of see these growing actors that'll be in the entertainment industry, and it's going to be really cool to see like where they go from here. And I just really loved this performance.
I thought this was so much fun seeing all the Johnny's Juniors on stage. Plus, I thought their English was fantastic.
Yes.
They had great synchronicity between all of them. Just the harmonies, the dancing. I loved how you saw them all come out of they were all dancing in the audience. I think this was one of the best performances of the night. Just of the involvement and how well all these groups perform together.
That indeed. But yeah, passing on the torch to another Johnny's member here, it is Heisei Jump with Ue Mukote Aruko, and it's a special Ray-Raw version of the song. The song was pretty famous. It's one of the more famous songs in America. It's Sukiyaki, for goodness sake. So it was very impressive to see a cover of this song. However, I thought it was a nice bass cover of the song. They did jazz it up in the middle, which is really impressive. But I still prefer the Boss Coffee version of the song, where it has Tommy Lee Jones singing the song.
I need to see this.
Yeah.
I need to see this. I have not seen this.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is he's a very influential person in Japan because he's part of the Boss Coffee collaboration, and he plays an alien who just doesn't know Japanese. And he plays dead face and plays to the crowd. It's just funny. He makes like $500,000 every commercial. So, and those commercials
Hey,
are only like a minute long.
hey, I mean, if they're paying, why not, right? But going on to this, I really did enjoy the song. I'm not too familiar with the bass version of this, but I really did enjoy Hasey Jump's performance of this song. I felt like they did really good. The outfits, I do want to give a shout out to because I felt like those were really nicely tailored suits that they had. Very nicely done, guys. And I really like in the middle of the song, like they just had like all these dancers in the aisle, and you could see them dancing, and I thought that was really well done. And then at the end when they just dropped that confetti, that was a ton of confetti. That's like an indicator of the sheer number of confetti that you see throughout the night because there's so much confetti in this show. They probably spent $2 million on confetti alone. Like it is just ridiculous the amount of confetti that's dropped. But I really liked the confetti drop in this song. I felt it was nicely timed, definitely well done.
So I thought this was a lot of fun, and I'm familiar with the bass song Sukiyaki. So for me, I thought Heisei Jump did a very good job covering it, and I do like the jazz, how they jazzed it up in the middle of it. I thought it was a good twist on it. Plus, I like that it looked like all the Johnny's Juniors were participating as well, and I thought that was a great contribution to Heisei Jump and their performance.
But yeah, continuing on up, it is the lovely Nakashima Miyuki with her song, Ito. Now, this song was really, really great. It really touched my soul with the lovely, lovely piano playing in the background and just the ending with the stars just really set the mood, and I really, really ended up loving this song.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I really felt like this was a fantastic song. The ending with like the sparkling sky and the stars in the night, that was just really, really well done. Definitely agree with you. Uh, and I really liked how the pianist really got into it. There's several moments in the song where you see him just tilt his head back as he's, playing the piano and looking up into the sky, and you're like, this dude's into it. And that was a gorgeous Steinway piano. So there was not the first Steinway that we see in the evening. We saw many Steinways, and Steinways are the best pianos made on the market, to my understanding. So those are expensive pianos, and that was a really, really great job done. That the piano work in that song was magnificent.
Yeah, I thought the song was absolutely beautiful. And her voice is just one of those voices that touches your heart and soul, and you really feel it with her vocals and how the emotions get to you.
But yeah, after a little break from the music here, we continue on with a Disney medley, which is very, very interesting. So they did every Disney movie, barring Lion King, that was released this past year in Japan, which was Frozen 2, Toy Story 4, and the live action adaptation of Aladdin. So I didn't watch Frozen 2. So
I haven't seen it yet.
I
I
don't.
haven't seen that. I haven't seen any of these three.
Yeah. So
I've only seen the last one.
yeah. So it was interesting to see, and by God, the person that sung for the Frozen 2, she has some pipes on her. By God.
Oh yes, she does. I was thinking the same thing. I heard her, and I'm like, wow.
I was like, oh. So it was Nakamoto Mizuki with that. And going on next is the You Got a Friend in Me, a Japanese version of it by Yukai Diamond. And I thought it was really good. It was a very, very, very close English adaptation of the song, and it had the nice heart and soul of it.
It did. I really liked that one a lot too.
I felt like this is in some ways like the highlight of my night was watching this because I've always loved that song, and to hear it in Japanese was just really surreal. And I really thought that was absolutely amazing and really, really well done.
Yeah, and I like that the two members from King and Prince came out too.
Oh yeah, dressing up as Buzz and Woody.
Yep, I thought that
Yep.
was really cute and a great touch to doing that song live.
There's a lot of things here that I've kind of noticed that they started really doing for the Kohaku, and I kind of hate it, but they started doing a lot of background things with the
They
artists,
did. Because I've caught a lot of background things that
and
felt like it directed me away from the singer.
yeah, no, exactly, and we'll get to it with a lot of the outliers with this. There's a couple songs that are really bad with this, and I really really hated that they did that, but continue on. Lastly, it is Tomoya Nakamura and Haruka Kinoshita with the Japanese version of A Whole New World. And by God, I'm gonna buy this song immediately because this
Amen.
was amazing. I didn't even watch Aladdin, and the live action version, but it makes me think. Well, if I'm going to Japan pretty soon, maybe I'll buy the Japanese version of this.
I thought the same thing. I will say, Kinoshita Haruka outshined Nakamura Tomoyo. That was my only thing, and I guess because I love Chris Hart and Meijei's version of A Whole New World, but mainly because Chris Hart has amazing vocals.
Yeah.
So for me, like, Kinoshita Haruka, though, oh my gosh, that girl can sing. Like, she
I
hit it spot on. It was gorgeous. I loved every bit of it.
I could not disagree more. Like, I loved Nakamura's performance. I felt like he held those notes so well, and his voice really just took me to a whole new world. Just the way that he sung it was so well done, and he complimented her so well. And you are correct. She was absolutely amazing. You guys talked about the lady that did the Frozen 2 song. And I'm like, that one was okay, but like she really stood out to me. Like I really felt like she just really killed it. Like both of these guys just really nailed this song, and it was kind of I kind of hated that it was a medley because I wanted to hear more of it by the end of it. Like I wanted to hear like the full song, and I guess it really sounded like they did do the bulk of it, but it's still like I was like, man, this is like way too short. They just absolutely destroyed this song, and I loved every second of it. It was so great.
See, I didn't care for Nakamura's performance. I think because I don't think his vocals were very good. I preferred Chris Hart because his vocal, I guess, because I've heard a cover of this before. And I think Kinoshita Haruka was amazing, but I didn't care for Nakamura Tomoya's vocals as much. But
I
that's
love
just
Nakamura.
me.
That's so cool.
Yeah, listening to the song, I was tearing up a bit because I was like, holy crap. Because
Oh my lord.
I love Aladdin, and this song was freaking amazing.
Yes, yeah. Aladdin's one of my favorite Disney movies too, and that was one of the reasons why I really went the extra mile to go see it in theaters, is because I've never been like the biggest Disney fan, especially with them doing like their live action venture, but I was like, it's Aladdin, you kind of have to you kind of have to do what you can to go see it. So this was a great song, and makes me want to check out what they did with "You've Never Had a Friend Like Me." I wonder how that sounds.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about that too. Well, that makes you want to buy the movie and find out, right?
It 100% does.
But next on up is freaking Detective Butts, but we ain't gonna spend too much time on him.
God.
It's funny.
Oshiri-tante.
Oshiri Tante, as much as I'm like, Japan ain't that weird. And they put out the Detective freaking Butts on the #1 song contest that is streamed internationally more so.
God. I don't know
This is
what.
awkward. I was just like, I know who he is. This is very, very awkward. Why do you have this in the Kohaku? And then, of course, in the background, you see Heisei jumping twice and Perfume dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when
you see them all doing the Oshiri Tante song.
Yeah.
Dance. I'm like, oh, boy.
The periodic fart sounds that they made throughout the song also were really not necessary. I guess just selling the point that he's a but oh god, it was just too much. Especially when you saw like when they were doing like the animated part and you see like the brown cloud coming out of his mouth. I was like, oh god, just shoot me now.
It's funny. I just like how they ended the song because that's how I felt like I needed to be. I need to be on the ground, unconscious for this.
Yeah, it was awkward. I had nothing more to say on that one. Just, what the hell, Japan?
WTF, man.
I'm like,
WTF.
hey, you're trying to be like all nice and international, and you pull this. You pull this out of your ass.
Almost quite literally.
So, I mean, it's something, but continuing on up, it is the lovely "Kiss My Feet" too, with "Everybody Go." So, why don't you take this, Gray? Because I know you are a huge fan of this experience.
Oh my god, this is song of the night. I'm sorry. I know this is really early on and there was a lot of amazing performances, but this was the peak for me. I absolutely love this song. My god, the skates. I want those skates. I would rip them off of their feet if I could, because what they had is they had on these skates that lit up and changed colors and they did like different sequence and patterns. And it was so cool. And when I first saw them on skates, I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Because either it's going to be a train wreck and someone's going to fall and I'm going to get a great laugh out of it, or it's going to be dope amazing and they're going to nail it. And they absolutely nailed it. The choreography was amazing. No one lost their balance. They stayed on their feet, thank God, and they really killed this song. It was really well done. Probably the best Kiss My Feet 2 song that I've heard. This was amazing. Like, performance of the night. There was some really, really close contenders. I am not going to lie. There's some really cool crap that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But this was absolutely nuts. I loved this performance.
I thought this was a fantastic performance, and I'm sure they practiced a ton on those roller skates beforehand. I'm actually very good at skating, and I always have been. However, practice makes perfect, so I'm sure those guys practice constantly.
Oh,
But
had to,
this
yeah.
was an amazing song. It was such a great way to get the crowd into it. Their outfits, just everything about it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, the whole skates things was very, very impressive, and I really enjoyed the work that they put into it. Personally, the song was alright in my opinion, and the skates really bought it up to 5 points more than it had been, than I initially wanted it to. But besides that, I mean, it was alright. The skates are cool, and I could see them glowing like a mile away, though.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
bright. They were so bright. That's why I loved them, because it's like, if you're going to do something like that, I mean, go all out. Make those things as bright as the sun. Just draw as much attention as you can to them. Because, I mean, if they were doing all that and you didn't see them or no one noticed it, it'd been just an utter waste. So I think they did it the right way.
But yeah, continuing on up to Yoshimi Tendo with Osake Koi Shigure. One of the first Enka songs, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. It took them a long time to get to the Inca. And honestly, this year felt a little Inca light.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, even the Prince of Inca didn't do that much Inca. He said a line and then went to the other song, and we'll get to that.
Oh,
But
yeah, we will.
yeah, I hate this because this is one of the things that I really wanted the Kohaku to do. It's supposed to be a merging of traditions of the past and the present of what is popular.
Mhm.
And
I did.
the past is kind of dying. And I feel
Yes.
really bad. And they're taking Kylo Ren's word to the T, where let the past die, kill it if you have to. But, Inca's tradition, and it encompasses what traditional Japanese is. And there are huge fans for that. We'll get to one of the singers that I am a huge fan of, that I would love to see live eventually. But it's sad to see the way of how Inca is going right now, and it's the only thing holding to tradition. And I feel like if they continue this way, then not knowing their past is going to be kind of dooming them.
And I did really like Yoshimi Tendo's one. I love the piano in it. The one thing I found interesting about her performance was Mato-san is she brought in someone who's international to play the piano for her. For the song, I mean. And I thought that was actually pretty interesting. Although I felt like the song she performed, it was like a combination of Enka and pop.
Yeah, I got that feeling as well. I mean, her vocals were freaking powerful though, and on point with the song.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh yeah, the song was absolutely, like, her vocals were fantastic, and she stood out.
Oh, yeah, it was, her vocals were so good that she actually overdid the piano. Like, there was some parts where she was drowning out the piano because the piano was just so soft. But the piano work that Matt's doing is very, very elegant, very, very nice, and it was really well done, and it complements her voice really, really well. And I mean, she's just belting it at certain parts of the song that are just really just mind-blowing to see. And this is a really, I mean, it might have been the first Inca song of the night, but it was a good, like, really good first Inca song to start the night with. Because I felt like she really just killed it. Like, she really nailed it. Also, the brass band was amazing.
Yeah, that was very interesting too. But yeah, continuing on up, it is AKB48 with their World Senbatsu singing Koi no Fortune Cookie. Koi Suru no Fortune Cookie, sorry. And I mean, it's interesting. It's to show how international the 48 system has become. Granted, I really wish they picked another freaking song, but because they did the same song last year.
I know. That was my thought when it came. I'm like, really? And I know it's mainly for the international members, which is why they chose it, as I feel like it's their most famous song.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I agree with you. I think they should have picked another song, because doing the same one over from the year before is just doesn't get you excited, and you're just like, oh, again?
Yeah, it was an impressive feat nonetheless, because they were singing in all the different languages. Like I believe it was Thai, both versions of Chinese,
Mandarin Canto.
Delhi.
Someone from Delhi who she stood out because she kept waving at the crowd because she was so excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they talked to her quite a bit before the performance, and you could tell like she was super hyped to be there, and it was really nice to see her energy. Yeah. And just her excitement to be on the stage. Like she really represented her team and her group really well.
Yeah.
She done an amazing job.
That was an impressive thing, and I really did like the fact that they focused on every international member that they could. And you know, for me, I'm pretty sad because I'm as much as I dog on them, it's because I was such a hardcore fan of them, and this was the song that kind of killed it for me, literally. And I do have one thing. I know she's not listening to this, but Yuki Kashiwagi, please freaking graduate. It was really freaking sad to see you in this song. It was really sad, you know. Did I see was Judy not even there?
Yeah, she was there briefly. Like, you see a glimpse of her.
Because I saw Suda Akari more than I saw Junina.
Yeah, she was there. I saw her with one of the Chinese, one of the Shanghai group members. Like, she was around one of them.
Yeah, well, regardless, it's
I actually saw Mayu more than I saw Jurina, which is funny because Mayu's on her way out the door. She graduates in 2 months. So I was like, you guys should have just done, like, I know why you guys did Kui no Fortune Cookie, but you guys should have just done Sustainable. Just use the center while you got her.
Not Sustainable. Well, actually, Sustainable was tolerable, so...
Like Sustainable was pretty good. Like, I would say that's probably one of their better songs in the past couple of years. And like I said, use the center while you got her, because she's gone in 2 months.
Yeah, that's the thing why I was mad, because I knew that Koisu Fortune Cookie was going to be used last year because Sashihara announced her graduation, and that was the song that literally made her.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that they used it again without the person that influenced the song. I mean, I understand how much of a viral hit it was, because literally they manufactured the hell out of that song to become a viral hit on the YouTubes and stuff. And
Yeah.
I can't. But anyways, continuing on up, it is Yamauchi Keisuke with Kuchibiru Scarlet, and by God, this was the first true male Inca singer, and freak, it was impressive. That violinist was on freaking point, and I love the hell out of this song.
That was my highlight for one. That is the violin. Oh my gosh, I will say that was amazing. However, this was also a very creepy performance due to the fact, one, the masks everyone was wearing and the giant light up head that popped out of the background and its eyes started glowing and beams looked like were shooting out of it. It was going all over. I'm thinking, man, are these eyes going to fry someone? So that was disturbing. And you're talking to someone who loves horror movies and does not get freaked out or scared. That was freaking weird.
It was funny because I was watching this drinking, and I guess I was just blacked out, trying not to remember anything creepy, because I didn't put anything of that in my notes, mostly because I probably just didn't want to remember it. Because those masks look like mannequin masks, and I have an irrational fear of inanimate objects coming to life.
Oh my lord. Yeah, no, this whole performance was absolute nightmare fuel from beginning to end. And the thing of it was Ken, you're 100% right. Like, the violinist was like, oh man, that dude was amazing. That dude is crazy good at his craft. And yet this song, while really, really good, I could not watch it. I just couldn't. Like, I sat there with my hand covering my face. Like, I just could not watch this performance.
I wasn't that bad. But I was Lord. Like, what the bleep am I watching? Like, literally, my facial expression is, this could be a horror movie.
Was Joss watching that?
His eyes just... No, he wasn't. He walked away not too long after Kyun.
Oh my
I think
Lord.
He gave up. He was kind of like watching it with me while he was on his phone, and then he gave up. I should have made him watch that performance. Says, look how weird this crap is. I actually might make him go back and watch it and show him that. I made him watch the performance that we'll talk about later, though.
But oh yeah, that performance, I would I would think maybe you would be interested in that. But continuing on up, it is good old Daichi Miura, the Daich. Haven't seen him in a while, with his song Blizzard. Of course, He's going to do the song that was highly internationally reached. And it's been a while since I've heard it. And, like, it's been since, like, what, last year since we heard it? Not literally.
Yeah, it came out December 2018.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it came out December 2018. Yep. Go on, Ken.
It's good to see the song, and it's been a while to have seen it in my personal view. So I liked it. It was really good, and I'm not a huge Deitch fan like you guys. I appreciate what he does. I see him every single time I go to the freaking airport because he's the NHK representative.
Yep.
But
yeah, oh my Lord, like, he killed it. I felt like he just absolutely nailed this. The choreography was just absolutely dope. The light show that they had going on was really great. Near the end, the pyrotechnics were just amazing, and I was like, yeah!
Yeah, and his vocals were great as always. I mean, Daichi always does a good job in all his performances, and his choreography always on point. So great to see him live and perform.
Yeah, when this performance was over with, my heart was racing and I was out of breath and I did not get up from my seat. It was that good. Oh, I love this song.
But yeah, continuing on the anime train here, it is good old Lisa with her song Gurenge, and by God, this song is freaking good. It was the anime version, so no of the impressive feat of her wanting to do what I fell in love with the song initially with, but it was great to see her on this stage, and they really made it a point that she was an anime singer, and I really hated that, but to each their own.
They really overemphasized her anime-ness. And I mean, I thought it was really weird that they had Demon Slayer playing in the background, but at the same time, Demon Slayer was one of the most popular new anime in North America. So that song does have some fair amount of international appeal. So she is one of the faces of Japan, especially growing in the international market. So I really felt like it was a really smart, really good idea to have her on the stage. And I just felt like it was a shame that they're just now getting her. This is her debut. And that to me was a crime. Like, she should have been on there before. Like, she's an amazing artist. The fact that she's just now getting there is kind of a shame, but I'm glad she's there now, and this was an absolutely great performance.
So I thought the Lisa performance, Gurenge, was amazing. Her vocals were on point as always. I thought her outfit was really good.
Yes.
Or really cute as well. I mean, it was a great performance, and I'm really glad to see Lisa on there. And she has great international appeal due to all the anime music she's done, especially for Sword Art Online, which has been a huge hit over here, as well as Demon Slayer. So glad. I hope she comes back again.
Yeah, that is for darn sure. But continuing on, they did a huge interchange segment of the generation of the era of going into Reiwa and talking about Reiwa all the time. And, it's impressive that they did that every so often. But it shows how historical that era change was to the modern Japanese society anyway. And I was happy that they were able to highlight it. And then that transitioned to Sayuri Ishikawa with her song Sugaru Kaikyo Fuyu ga Shiki, which was really good. And it is like the perfect image of what Inca is. And with King and Prince on Taiko in the back.
Yep.
Yes.
It was very, very impressive. They made a lot of good uses of the background screen this time around.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be interesting to see what they do next year, because this is also the last time they're going to be in the NHK Hall, because they're remodeling it for the next couple of years, the traditional NHK Hall, which was this one. So it's great to see how they kind of went bare minimalist with a lot of things and just decided to use the background screen as like the background filler for a lot of that. And this was one of the first of many. Obviously, with Lisa and Gurenge, they played the literal opening of the anime in the background. So
yeah, I thought this was the perfect Enka song, like you said. Of course, I spotted King and Prince. That was one of the first things, like you said, on the taiko drums. Like, oh, they're coming. They're doing a good job back there, and it was a good touch to it too.
Yeah, well, I mean, she had a huge number of musicians on that stage, and that was what really impressed me. And this song was the definition of tradition. So it was really nice to have like that statement of, this is tradition, this is history, and it was really well done. Her vocals was really, really nicely done. So it was really nice to see this here.
But yeah, continuing on up to King New with their song Hakujitsu. And by God, seeing this song live was very, very interesting. This is the first time I've seen it. Granted, the music video is a similar live version to it, and they kind of went overbearing on the fog a bit to kind of match that black and white feel of the music video. But besides that, a very, very impressive showing for their first of hopefully many appearances on the Kohaku.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Their vocals were, amazing. I was just blown away by that, and I thought they had a great debut performance.
Yeah, I felt like this was an amazing performance, and honestly, I remember the song. I'm very familiar with it, and I love the song. I love the bass song, but I actually think I kind of like this live performance just a little bit more. I felt like they just had like that little extra something in this performance that really just made it go over the top, and it was just super well done. And it's like you guys said, like his vocals was just really on point, and like the whole thing just worked really, really well. And this was an amazing job.
And continuing on up to Midori Oka, my waifu, with her song Kamisuru. Absolutely beautiful and elegant voice. I could listen to this all day, and it pointed her the fact that she is the future of Inca at the young age of 33.
Well, yeah,
And
but this was a great performance.
yeah, it's always good to see her on the Kohaku, and I'm always very excited. This is her third year in a row doing it, and the one thing with her was the cranes this time around, and I think they kind of went overbearing with it, but I understand why they tried to do it.
I actually really liked the cranes. I really thought it was cool near the end when they panned the camera back and they showed
Yep,
like the flying paper cranes, the flying paper cranes over the crowd. I thought that was really nicely done.
Yeah.
And I felt like Kiss My Feet 2 did a really good job in this performance too, because they were performers in this, and I felt like they done a great job in this.
I thought it was a great performance as well, and Midori has such a beautiful voice. I look forward to more of her performances as an Enka singer and see how she grows as well. And
Yeah.
I thought the cranes are really interesting. I know what you mean by it. It was a lot, but it definitely made for a memorable performance.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
yeah, you're darn sure for that. And that's why I kind of had a little gripes with this. I'm sure they had the intentions of trying to make this very, very impressive, but a lot of it was over. They dialed it to 11 with a lot of it, and this was
That's
kind of
true.
one of those examples where they kind of just overdid it. But I understand why, because they try to make it 1,000 cranes, and the 1,000 cranes one true wish. And it's interesting for her because she appeared every year since her debut, since we started doing this whole podcast. Because she debuted when
Yeah.
we first did the Kohaku too. But yeah, continuing on up, it is the first song that was made outside of the NHK Hall, and that was Masaharu Fukuyama's medley. He performed at the Pacifica Yokohama Countdown, and it was interesting that he sung Hello, Niji, and Zero, with the zeros being a very expressive Latin feel to it, I might add, with the guitar.
Oh my god. I loved all three of these songs, but the Zero was magnifique. Like that song was so good. Especially all the pyrotechnics. I like fire.
Yeah, I love this performance as well, and he really stood out to me. Due to this, I liked the guitar work. I liked the guitar work a lot, as it did give it that Latin feel, and just his high energy, really got in with the crowd.
Yeah.
So
Also, that stage he was on was so cool because it was like he was in the middle of this circular arena, and it's like this 360-degree stage that was really cool, really nicely done. And his energy on all three songs was just absolutely amazing.
And continuing on back to the NHK Hall is Twice with their Japanese version of TT and Fancy. what's really impressive, and you don't see me now, but I'm doing the stupid TT hand signs right now, and I love that song. It's very impressive. I haven't heard it in a while, so it's a good, nice reminder to go and see it. And the switch from that medley to the dance was always impressive, with Fancy showing off their impressive dance skills.
Yeah, yeah. I felt like both these songs were really well done. It was. I love TT. I'm never going to complain to see it. But at the same time, I would have liked to have seen something a little different from these girls. But I get why they did it. And I really loved, like, because they had like these three screens that popped down, and they were cell phones, and it was really cool how they incorporated it into the performance. And I felt like it was really well done. And Fancy was pretty good too. Like, Fancy was pretty solid.
I like that they did do TT, as they brought back, one of their most famous songs in Japan that they did. However, I'm a little disappointed they did Fancy instead of Breakthrough, especially with those outfits. I was expecting them to do Breakthrough, as I love that song. Although I thought Fancy was still good, their dancing was amazing, their harmonies were good as always. So,
And continuing on, it is the lovely Hiroshi Itsuki with his song Viva la Vida. And it's interesting. They really loving that damn USA song very much in the background, that they started doing the motions for it.
yep.
Yeah, they were doing the motions for that, but I
But
really like this song. Like
this
the
this song in particular, though, was the biggest outlier of too many freaking things going on in this song, though. It's a great song, but I'm like a cat. I'm distracted, or I'm like a dog. I'm distracted way too much by what the hell was going on in the background for this song.
Oh yeah, there was this song. There's so much, and I was paying attention more to the background than the song itself.
Yeah, well, the reason I liked it so much is because they were playing the alto saxophone, which is the saxophone that I played in band. So, like I always just like ooh saxophone. So, but I really did enjoy the performance, even though at one point the saxophonist is doing push-ups, and I do not know why. I thought that was really weird, and yeah, it was a bit chaotic and all over the place. I will give it that, but it still was like a fun song. They were having fun with it. And I think that was really in theme with the night, is, party, having a good time, enjoying the new year.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
really felt like that it nailed in that regard.
yeah. I understand the point of that too, and it's just the reason why they were starting doing push-ups, because they were guests, the two in the front. They're like
Okay.
celebrities, and that's why they were like trying to show off. That's another thing too.
Gotcha.
It's like, Jesus Christ, but put your dick away.
Well,
You don't need to do
I
it
mean, he
here.
was really good. He was really good on the saxophone. I felt like he nailed the saxophone part.
Yeah.
But yeah, the when he was like on the ground doing push-ups, I was like, okay, this turned into the weird mode.
Yeah. But continuing on, it was the rugby team came on, and one of the many, like 4 or 5 segments that the rugby team was coming on. But it was impressive because it was this song particularly was used as the rugby like international feel of it, and that was Little Glee Monster with their song Echo. And by God, I keep forgetting, like, because we don't cover them as much as we do. Now that might change because they have their own freaking YouTube channel, and Sony
Yes.
can't ruin that as much anymore. But I keep on forgetting how damn good their vocals are. I
Oh
keep
yeah.
on forgetting that, and every single time they've appeared in the Kohaku that we've done this, I had that jolt of reminder saying, you gotta go and get at least a couple of their songs, because they always have an impressive showing of what they show in the Kohaku. And this Echo was amazing. I would highly recommend that you try to go see the song.
I agree. The vocals and the emotions they put in this song, you could see how the girls' expressions were as they were singing Echo. And you could also see the crowd's reaction, such as the rugby team there. They were all emotionally taken by the song. Just the power in it. It's a gorgeous song, an amazing performance by them.
Oh yeah, vocally these girls are just on fire and it showed. This was a great performance and it was definitely one of like it's really hard to forget this performance and it really stuck with you throughout the night and definitely a standout. And Ken's right. Of all the acts that we'll talk about, this is definitely one that I recommend go and see it because these girls just absolutely knocked it out of the park. They need to the day after. I hope they patted themselves on the back. Job well done, girls. Like they just absolutely murdered it.
But yeah, continuing on up, it is the lovely Da Pump with their lovely medley of Party Universal Festival and USA. Oh boy, so as much as I would like to love Party Universal, it just didn't have that feel that I thought it would. just this time around, and you know,
Yeah.
and kind of beating up that dead horse of USA. I mean, I understand. I really, really understand. I prefer another version of USA, but we won't get to that right now.
Another one.
And it's damn catchy. I'll give it that. But by God, those outfits were horrendous.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with those outfits. They were, whew, they were rough to look at. But this is one of the times where I really felt like it being a medley. There were so many medleys this year, but I felt like this being a medley kind of hurt them. And I'm with you. I get why they did USA, but I even wrote that down in my notes. I'm like, do we really need to hear USA again? Because I get it's the Olympics. I get that's an international song that's appealing to one particular country. But I felt like, Party is like I really enjoyed the party segment of the performance. I really felt that was good, and I really felt like had Party just been the only song that they did and not share the spotlight with USA, that song would have shined a lot more than what it did. And the fact that you had Party and then USA, it just I was like, do we really need this? And it really like it was a good performance overall. I really enjoyed it. This is another one of those acts where I was really mad at the camera crew because there's break dancers on stage and you can't see the break dancers because they're focusing on the crowd bouncing the giant football balloons up, and I'm like, well, I mean,
Rugby.
those are cool balloons. Rugby. Well, because it had USA on it, I thought it would be football. But, I mean, it's the same ball either way. I really enjoyed this performance, but I do have a few gripes about it.
Yeah, I just feel like USA is a little overdone at this point. I do like the song. It's a great song. However, the melody, I understand why they did it, especially being, it's a fun international song, and the rugby team got into it big time. By golly, they were all up and dancing to it.
Oh yeah, they were really enjoying the hell out of that song.
So I will say they did make a good choice, as it was a crowd pleaser.
Yes.
However, I do feel like it is a little bit overdone, and I wish if they would have done something different, but it makes complete sense why they did this melody.
Well, I mean, besides Party Universal Festival, what other song had they done this year?
Yep.
Sakura.
Mm.
I don't remember the full name of it, but it was Sakura something.
Yeah. I remember the Party Universal, because I do remember when that came out, but that's the only one that really stuck with me that they did.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the Sakura song. Yeah, it's just called Sakura.
Yeah, but to case the point, Sakura bombed. It didn't do well.
Oh, no. Sakura was not great, and I get why they didn't play that song.
Yeah, they filmed Party Universal shortly after. They were like, oh well, Sakura didn't do well, and I thought it was important because it was more of a vocally talented song, but people just want their hilarious dancing now, and it's really just for the clicks at this point.
Yep.
But speaking of for the clicks, we got official Hige Dandism with Pretender, and this week it sold 7,874 copies. I wouldn't know. They took a break, but regardless, Pretenders. Goddamn, this song is very impressive live. This is the second time I've heard it in a live setting. First time being at Rock in Japan, and it really proves that this song is something special. And just like King Gnu, I hope this will be the first of many Kohakus that they appear in. And I really, really hope that they aren't just a one-hit wonder. I
Me too,
really hope
because
that.
their vocal talent and just seeing the lead singer get on the piano while he was singing Pretender is just amazing, and the band itself, they're fantastic, and it solidified my reason for loving this song yet again, is seeing it live. It just really makes you feel.
Yeah, this was a really, really good live performance. It was really fantastic. And I mean, they really showed why they were on the stage, why they really deserved to be on the stage with this performance. And I agree with Ken. Let's hope that they're not a one-hit wonder. Let's hope they come back for more. And, it's a new year. Let's see what they do in 2020. Sky's the limit.
Well, yep, hopefully so. And continuing on, it is Kiyakizaka 46 with their song Fukuon. And they had to bring it up. I'm very impressive that NHK brought that fault up, that they brought up the old performance, and the fact that they did bring a point that freaking, Hirate went overboard. And you can see the point where she went overboard with the song.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good for them to be like, yeah, we kind of fucked up. But the fact that they brought the song again, I mean, I understand they're trying to be like, well, she can do it this time and not burn herself out. But I liked it. And, she went all out for this song, and
yeah, she did.
And it was kind of impressive, and it was really freaking funny at the same time because she went over the top. She gave it 110%, while everyone else gave it a good 80%. And just seeing that extra 30% of her doing it was so funny. And I gotta lead out with this. them pelvic thrusts they did near the end of the song.
That creeped me out.
Yeah, it made me think of this one game that just the pelvic thrusts are just to the max with the song.
Yeah, I'll say I'm actually not a huge fan of this song. I'm super familiar with it. I've heard it. I couldn't tell you how many times, and every time like it comes up on my phone or my playlist, I kind of just bemoan it because I'm like, well, I mean, it's not a bad song, but I don't love it. And I will say, I really felt like this performance really changed my opinion of the song in a lot of ways. I really felt like they just killed it. It was such a great performance, and it made me enjoy the song in a way I never had before. And I really, really liked it. Like Ken said, like, Hirate Yurina does like 110%. Just like, I mean, she leaves everything on that stage. Like when she walks off, she is a husk in many ways. Like she left it all on the stage, and that was pretty impressive. And I really liked the choreography. I thought it was really, really nicely done, including the pelvic thrusts.
I didn't like it at all. I thought the dancing was really weird and somewhat disturbing.
Oh yeah, it's disturbing, all right. It feels like a zombie song coming alive.
It doesn't. I love zombie stuff, but the song didn't fit the dancing, which is what I didn't like about it. I mean, the vocals were okay, but I just didn't care for the song in general. So yeah, this wasn't one of my favorites. I was just like, it's a little odd.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the song was a very inspired song. Let's just we're gonna play it that way. It takes a little getting used to, and if you're not on board with the song, you're not gonna be on board with the song. I completely understand that. With specifically this dance song.
It just wasn't my thing.
Yeah. But continuing on, it is the magic show. That's all I can call it, man. Like I couldn't tell you what the hell the song was about. It's Kaori Mizumori with Takato Sakura Michi. It's impressive. It's really impressive. But this is another outlier of the one thing that they did last year, just taken to 11 once more, because not only did they do one illusion, they did like 3 illusions.
Yes.
And it took away from the song. I could not do this. I really don't like the fact that a lot of background noise was all throughout this performance for the Kohaku. And I understand. I really understand that they really want to keep people interested for the memes and the clicks and all that lovely stuff. But I can't. They need to do something. They need to do something because it's taken away from the song.
It does. I couldn't pay attention to the song. Everything I took away from it was the magic show, the dress change, and the outfit. The ending was cute. I thought it was a beautiful song, but that's all I remember from it is the magic show mainly because it took away from the song itself.
Oh yeah, I couldn't tell you anything about the song. Like all of my notes are all about the magic show. I loved it. I loved when they split the girl apart. I thought that was such a. I know it's a trick you've seen 1,001 times, but it was so cool when they did that. And they never put that poor girl back together. Like they just wheeled her off back the stage in half, and I was like, "That's hilarious.
She's just legs now, just walking through TSA.
She's just legs, and her torso's just off doing its own thing. They're living separate lives now." And like the tree growing sakura branches, I was like, that one I wasn't too crazy about. But the last trick where they dump like all this pink confetti on her and her dress turns pink, super dope. That was amazing. I would love to know how they pulled that one off. That was absolutely crazy because she disappears for maybe a hot second in a cloud of confetti, and she comes back out because she's wearing. I think it was a blue dress. I could be wrong on this. But I think it was like a blue dress, and then they dump this pink confetti on her, and it just turns pink. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And that was absolutely amazing. I love magicians. I love stage magic, and this was a highlight of the night, and for all the wrong reasons, which is. Why I can understand your complaint about this, Ken, because it's just like, yeah, I could talk to you all day about the magic show. I couldn't tell you anything about her performance. She looked nice in the dress.
Yep. But yeah, continuing on up, it is King and Prince with Cinderella Girl and Koi Wazure, and goddamn, I forget how both songs were really good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. This was one of my favorite performances. I loved it. I thought King and Prince knocked it out of the park. Their harmonies, their dancing, just everything about it, and it made me fall in love with them again. Especially seeing them live. They can put on a show.
Yeah, they were really, really good, but I will be honest, this is one of the acts that I felt like I could have done without the medley of it. I love Cinderella Girl, and it's always nice to hear it, but I really would have loved to have seen just the whole act be Koi Wazure. Like, yeah, I really would have loved the whole act to be that song because I was really, really loving it, and I haven't heard it since we talked about it. When it came out, and it's it's an amazing song, and I would have loved to just seen them do that whole song and just really let that song shine and really just let that be a thing. But both performances were really, really well done, and I'm not gonna bemoan Cinderella Girl too much because it still was a great, great performance, and these guys just absolutely killed it. And it's, if you ever wondered why they're popular, watch this. You will know instantly. They are gifted, they are talented, they are amazing. Like the way they harmonize is just absolutely fantastic. Like these guys are just absolutely an amazing team.
Yep. That is for darn sure. And continuing on up, it is the song that number 86 will not let down in his entire life ever again. Hiroshi Miyamiya with Bonkyo Sanga, and it's the Kendama song. We're gonna just pretty much say it. This is the third year in a row that they're gonna try for the world record. They achieved it last year with 124 consecutive catches, and they wanted to break the record this time around with 125. Fortunately, they couldn't do it. They broke down right around the midpoint. It happened the first time they did this too. And
number 14 dropped his ball immediately, and I was like, oh.
So, like I said, this is one of the things where the clicks and the memes were more evident and more important to the performance than the song itself. And I'm really begrudging that because I already know that his next performance next year is he's going to try it again.
Yep. And I am not looking forward to it. I groaned when I saw it this year because I was like, when he hit the Guinness Book World Record last year, I was like, thank God. I never have to see this act again because it's not that interesting. I'm not going to lie. It's just people pulling a ball up and catching it in a cup. And like the first time you see it, it's kind of cool. Second time, you're like, okay, I've kind of had my fill. When I saw it this year, I about threw something because I'm like, I am done with this noise. And then number 86 dropped the damn ball.
What's funny is a lot of guest appearances happened there. DJ Koo and his coolness is there.
Yeah, and his outfit was wild.
I mean, that's what he's more famous for.
Woo! That was a show.
One of the members of Maximum the Hormone was there. They didn't bring any attention to him, but it was pretty funny to see him.
I caught that too. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, it's what was your thoughts on the whole thing there, Luna?
I mean, same as last year. Oh, they're doing Kodama again. Okay. I do like Hiroshi's Inca. You know, I think it's very, very traditional, and he brings it back. However, I'm tired of the whole Kodama thing with it.
Oh,
if it was just him performing, that'd be great, you know, and it'd be something new. But with the whole Kodama in the background, it really does take away from the performance and the artist himself.
And see, I 188% agree with you, Luna, because it's just... that's my gripe, is he is an absolutely fantastic singer, and I'd love to see him do another performance, another stage production that is not this. Like, I really want to see what else he can do.
Yep, I think that's the main fallback about this, especially since we know they're going to do it next year. It's going to be the same thing, and no one's going to pay attention to his performance itself, but just the people doing the game. So.
Yep. But continuing on, I just need to preface, since, you know, I want to rock and roll all night. And party every day. Yeah, exactly. So, it was Yoshiki collaborating with Kiss.
Yoshi-Kiss.
Yoshi-Kiss is their collaboration name. You know, it's funny because they did this whole video of why, you know, Yoshiki was very, very happy to have done this. His inspiration of becoming a drummer was because of Kiss when he was 11, and it was his dream come true to do this. And Kiss, they don't allow usual other guest artists to come on with them, and it was a whole big thing. And it's impressive nonetheless. I didn't know that about Kiss, that they don't allow guest artists to perform with them occasionally, so that's
Yeah, I didn't know
news
that
to
either.
me. So if that's true, then that's really impressive for Yoshiki stuff to have be one of the honorable guests or the oneable artists to be a guest to help them out to perform an amazing song, one of their more famous songs.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, this is probably Kiss's biggest song, and it was really nice to see this. I do want to make a shout out to that see-through piano that you see him playing in the beginning of it. Like that thing was gorgeous. But when he goes up and he starts doing the drums, like absolutely fantastic drum work. I almost thought for a hot minute when they do the guitar solo, they were going to break and let him do a drum break. They didn't quite do that, but that would have been really cool if they'd let him do like his own drum break real quick and do like a drum solo. But still, this was a really, I mean, it was a song that I think everyone that's listening to this show has probably heard a million times. I don't think there's anything too surprising about the performance, but it was super nice to see Yoshiki up there on the stage. And I don't know if that was Gene Simmons or not, being Gene Simmons. Like, I don't know if that was Gene Simmons or not, but he kept doing the tongue thing, so one can only guess. It didn't sound like him singing, but I was like, well, Gene Simmons is a lot older, and I know your voice changes as you get older, so maybe it's the fact that Gene Simmons is an older man, but the fact that they had the lead guitarist, whose name I don't know off the top of my head, doing all the talking, really seemed like to me like that wasn't Gene, but I don't know.
So I like the video beforehand, just because you get to learn a little bit about more Yoshiki and why Kiss was there with him, and it was a great entrance into introducing them. And like Ken said earlier, I didn't know that Kiss didn't allow guest performers with them. So it was great to see them on stage together, one of the biggest rock bands of, I would say, the decade. Everyone knows who Kiss is, everyone knows their music. And seeing Yoshiki up there, who everyone knows who he is very famous and all over the world as well. And seeing these two, two legendary, rock stars, group and rocks, perform together was just amazing. And I love the introduction with Yoshiki on piano and then goes right into the drums. It was amazing. I'm so glad, and I'm very surprised they got Kiss to go. So I felt like it was a big shock to see someone like them in Japan on New Year's.
Yeah, it was impressive nonetheless. But continuing on, it is the lovely Shinaringa with her medley here. And it's funny. She was pretty tame this year compared to her last couple.
Yeah, I think that's why I love this performance, is because it was just tame and it was just her doing her thing and her voice. Because that's when I really, really like Sheena Ringo. And she did my favorite song that she does, which is Jinsei wa Yume Dareke. Like,
Yeah.
I love that song. So to see that live was really, really cool.
What I was more impressive in that is I got to see Tokyo Soul Pimp Sessions in the background there. I was so happy to see them have a lovely performance. They were the main performance doing the song. And
Yeah.
they are an impressive band that I would love to bring a little bit more highlight later on, but it's happy to see that they got their moment. They got to be with Shinaringo, who's an impressive figure to the industry nonetheless, no matter what the haters say. But her impressive range brought back to what she does best, and that's what I really liked about this one. There's nothing to go sing to the cows about with this medley, but it brought her back to her basic soul, and that's what I loved.
I agree with that. I loved it for that reason. It was back to, her basics, and it was nice. It was a beautiful performance. I thought her outfit and her were just stunning. It was simple. It shined for that reason, is the simplicity of it. And her vocals were amazing as always. I just love hearing her perform. She is an artist that has so much talent.
So, we continue on to Misawa Hibari. So, this is an interesting thing. This is a project head by Akimoto Sensei of AKB48 fame. And she is an artist that passed away several years back. And she was brought back to life using the same technology that is being used for Hatsumiku. And it's interesting to see that. It's really creepy because it kind of goes into that gray area too. Because, well, first I want to hear what you guys think about this song, and then we can kind of talk more about it because this topic needs to be brought up at the end of the day of what can we do with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought it was a beautiful song, but that's all I really got from the performance, just because it felt very planned, which makes sense because, and very animated due to the movement and how the song was constructed to me, and also near the end how her mouth was moving. It's just such a hard subject to I guess discuss, like you said, due to the fact that she's passed now, so it's a very thin line of, is this okay, is this not okay?
Yeah, I will say, one, I was not familiar with this artist, and I did not know that she had passed on. And I was kind of floored when Ken told us pre-show that she had passed on, because I did not realize that was a CGI model. I will say I thought her mouth was moving a little weird in the performance, but that was really like the only indicator that something was off, and I just I just kind of dismissed it. I just didn't think too much of it, but it was really, really weird. The song was really pretty. I really did like the song. I felt it was a nice song. But for me, I don't know if it's a thin line. I think it's a very thick, broad red line. I just don't think like stuff like this is appropriate. I think at a certain point you need to let the dead rest, and I don't think it's appropriate to bring somebody back to do this. Like it is tricky. I don't want to just write it off entirely, especially if you're trying to like commemorate their life or to celebrate their life in a meaningful manner. That's definitely one thing, and I do see where the trickiness is involved in that regard. But if it's done just for the sheer fact of making money off of someone who's already passed on, that's really ugly and should not be done. But
Yeah.
It just depends.
It really just depends, because honestly, if her estate, but the thing is, we don't know how this is handled in Japan compared to internationally, because if it was international, they would have to go to her estate and get permission from the family, and then the family would have to have a legal battle of, well, if you guys are going to do this, they have to have it. They have to have a cutback of what's going on, and it's interesting because the entire song was a new song, and it was used vocally from her old performances. So it kind of goes with that thing. If you guys watch Black Mirror on Netflix, I don't know if you guys watch it or not. This past season was something very similar, where an artist fell brain dead, and they used her consciousness and her AI to make a new song and to make a CG version of her. Like literally, this was pulled from Black Mirror onto this thing.
You think that's where they got the idea?
No, because they probably had to have planned this months in advance before Black Mirror was even out.
Oh, okay. I don't know when Black Mirror's new episodes drop, so
It dropped over the summer, so they would have to have planned this beforehand, unless they have some top-notch animators over in Japan. But it's so weird, and I just don't know. I can't. In my mind, it's kind of like the same thing with seeing like what if you guys watched Rogue One with Star Wars. It was really weird seeing Carrie Fisher de-aged and CG-defied, and it had that grayed area of like, well, it was really bad because she just passed like a week before this
Yeah.
movie dropped.
Yeah, the timing on that was really weird, but also that general, the general from A New Hope, is in that movie, and
Yeah,
that actor
Tarkin.
passed away.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Alan
passed away in
Cushing.
the 80s. Yeah,
Yeah. So right around the same time as Misawa Hibari, so it's it's interesting and scary at the same time, because then that means that they could possibly try to do this with other singers that passed, and I
yeah,
kind of don't want them to do that. And you're right,
no,
great. The dead has to rest, and I understand. I understand completely, but this is going to be a topic that we have to talk about for another day. But I wanted to at least touch on it just for a
yeah,
bit because of the implications that could happen from this.
yeah, yeah, because it definitely opens the door to, like, again, there's a lot of really nice things. Like I said, if they're looking to do like a tribute to somebody or to celebrate someone's life like this, that is one thing, and like I'm still not okay with it, but I would let it, I'd let it fly. I'd be like, well, I don't think this is really cool, but I see what they're doing here, and I respect that. But it can open the door to just like, okay, you're dead, but we're still going to make a ton of money off of you. And I'm like, that's evil. Don't do that. So it'll be interesting to see how this technology gets used moving forward and see how they implement it in different things.
Yeah, it's just such, like what Ken and Gray said. It's one of those gray areas that it's really hard to determine, and I just don't really have too much more to add to that.
But yeah, let's continue on to Kanjani Aid. They also kind of did a short medley. It's of Zekkyo and Otomodachi. It was nice, but it was too short. But it led to the song of Mai Mukoe Sukumaru. They really played that meme of the Pikachus walking and dancing together, because there's really nothing to write home about this song except all the Pikachus walking around.
Yep, that's all I had. Is I love the Pikachu's, and I like that King and Prince came out.
Yeah, I felt like the songs are okay. I wasn't crazy about the songs, but the Pikachus were definitely the highlight. I loved all the Pikas. Pikas. Pikachu.
Pika. But so this one is a two-parter for continuing on from there. It is Nogizaka 46 with Synchronicity. This is very impressive for them to do this. So, Synchronicity is a damn good song. It's probably one of their best songs, in my opinion.
It's a stellar song.
Yeah.
I don't think it's their best, but I do agree with you. It is fantastic.
It's impressive to see the song live, and it sounded great. But this is also a hallmark moment to see all of the Sakamichi groups together. What the Sakamichi groups is the proper term of saying the 46s. And
Gotcha.
it was very, very important that they brought all of them together. I'll bet they didn't include the gaining 46 group, but it's all the girls, pretty much. That was part of it.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool to have all the I wrote all the 46s because I didn't know they were the Sakamichis, but I thought it was just really cool how they were able to get them all on stage. The choreography was really well done, and the I really love how they incorporated the host. I thought he done a great job, and in his little dance number too. I felt like he done an outstanding job, and this was a really, really nice performance overall.
Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed the performance of Synchronicity. I liked that they had all the groups together performing it with, with the song. They're all in harmony, all in sync. I love their outfits. I just thought it was very well done, and it made me enjoy Synchronicity a lot more than I initially did.
But yeah, continuing on to another two-parter here. It We got to see Ogen-san to Ishoni, and it's really good to see Hoshino again like this because this is his persona that he really likes to portray, and it's important to him because he really likes doing the Ogen-san. And of course, they brought in his entire family, which you, Gray, should be more impressive about because they have Mimoru Miyamida, and he's Ryuji from Persona 5.
Nice.
They also have that. They also have the Deitch on there too.
Yeah. I saw the dice.
Because he's also a character on the show too.
Oh, okay. Life
So
makes sense
it's
again.
funny to see them all together, and they sung one of his best songs of the generation, which was Doraemon, obviously, which is really good.
Yeah.
And that song was popular when we first started, so it's
Oh yeah,
important
that
that
song
they
was
brought.
super popular.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that little skit they did all together. I thought that was actually really cute and really well done. And I always look forward to Gensan's little skits he does.
But switching over, they made him go to the roof. He is one of the many artists that they force up onto the chilly nights up on the roof there with his song Same Thing. And this is the first time I've heard this song, and by freaking yeah, this song was freaking amazing. His English was so great and so natural that I would love to look more into his work a hell of a lot more than I had been.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I just really felt like this whole performance was absolutely amazing. I really loved it. His English is very clean, very nice, and to see the band against like the Tokyo skyline was just a really great scene. And there he does eventually start walking around the roof, and he goes on the helipad, and he's kind of just wondering about, but the see him singing in front of the band with the Tokyo skyline in the background was just a really cool moment that I will take with me for a while, because that was just such a great scene, and definitely really cool. And you're 100% right, Ken. Same thing is that is a really good song. Like, he nails it through and through. This is a great song.
Yeah, I completely agree. I absolutely love the song, and I did not realize how good his English was. And hearing him sing that whole song in English was fantastic. It really hits towards a international audience, not only with the Doraemon skit, but with that song. And just like Gray and Ken said, with the rooftop and the background with this Tokyo skyline, it was just a fantastic performance. And this was another one of my favorites of the night. Hoshino again has such a great voice, and I just really enjoy seeing and hearing him perform.
And continuing on up, it is the lovely trio of Perfume and their song Fusion. It's very impressive to go see our senpais dancing around, and they were really improving the fact that they were really internationalizing this year, which was impressive in and of itself. So the dancing and the choreograph was very interesting to say the least. But of course,
Mm-hmm.
they have to bring their song Polyrhythm into the mix there because that is their best song and one of the more well recognizable songs.
I was very excited to see them bring polyrhythm into that, but I thought the transfer, or the, how do you say that, when fusion went into polyrhythm, I thought it was very fluid and it worked so well together. Their dancing and the lights, everything they did was great.
Yeah, I will say if I heard Fusion like on the radio, I'd probably immediately turn it just because there's not really a whole lot going on vocally. Is mostly them dancing. So, but their performance for this was really, really well done. I really, really liked it. And I really, really loved the was polyrhythmy. I really, really loved that. I kind of hated that you only kind of got like a small taste of that song and then they stopped. But it was a good performance overall, and the how they incorporated the screens and into their choreography with the silhouette dancers of them was really, really cool, and I just really felt like this was a really, really cool stage production that they did.
Yeah, it was. Once again, it's always good to see our senpais out there.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, continuing on to the lovely Beat Takeshi with his song Asakusa Kid. And it's very, very interesting to see someone of his age sing, of his age and health. And I found it hilarious though that he's singing the song and I'm like, it's the Slumdog Millionaire type of song where you're going up and you're trying to rough it through life and stuff like that. But I found it hilarious that he's just wearing winter slacks through this entire performance.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, I mean, I understand the message that you're doing, but I'm like, Mr. Takeshi, can you at least dress a little bit more nicer? Then,
well, he's got
instead of coming out of the break room in the tea room.
I mean, I like the way that he was dressed because it feels like, he could relate to the common man, like, oh, he's just one of us.
It feels like Grandpa came to visit.
So I want to say it was interesting seeing him on here. One, I didn't realize he was a singer as well. I know him as mainly an actor. I've seen so many of his movies. I mean, he is a very, very famous actor, and I love him to death. And I'm glad to see him on the Kohaku. I feel like this is the first time I've really seen him on there because he wasn't there last year, from what I remember. But hearing him sing, and especially with his age getting up there, was just kind of nostalgia. Just seeing him again, I was very excited.
Yeah, I agree with you, Luna. I did not know this guy could sing, and to see him up on stage was really, really cool. If you don't know who we're talking about, I think his biggest claim to international, like his biggest thing for like the international audience is he's the teacher in Battle Royale. So if you've seen the first Battle Royale, he's the gym teacher. So
I would say he has more claim to fame than that. He was Zao Toichi, the blind swordsman.
who?
Oh, and he is also claimed to fame due to MXT, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know
the
he was
title
on
originally
MXT.
was Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, it was Takashi Castle, but it commonized to MXT, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, which
I own the whole thing. I love it.
Oh, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge is so hilarious. I didn't know he was associated with that.
Yeah, he's one of the hosts.
Yeah, he's the main guy. He's the competition Takeshi Castle was made after him, and I
did not know that.
It's so funny. Yeah. Because I used to watch Takeshi Castle when I was younger, and it was just interesting that they brought MXC up, and I was just like, it's very, very interesting that is being brought back up again.
I loved MXT. One of the funniest shows. Oh my lord! I would sit there when I was in high school and watch it for hours. Like it is just like one of the most entertaining, funniest shows you'll ever watch. But yeah, getting a little bit off the beaten track here, but this is a good song. Really nice. Like I said, I did not know that he was a singer, so it was nice to see him get up on stage and sing, and it was a pretty solid performance overall.
Yep, exactly. And continuing on up, it is Ishikawa Sayuri, and she is one of hopefully many artists to have done this feat. She is going to be the first artist to be in all 3 eras of the current Kohaku.
Nice.
That's amazing.
So, and she sung her song Sugaru Kaiko Fukugashiki, and that was just simply amazing.
It was. I loved the orchestra, the snow falling, and her voice with that orchestra was beautiful.
Yeah, this is an amazing turnout and performance, and I was just really awestruck with the visualness of it. I just loved the snow and how they just made it look like, even though she's indoors, like it's just snow falling all around her. Like it was just this really beautiful effect. And near the end of the song, it all turns blood red, and it's just this beautiful, gorgeous effect.
It is just
And
simply amazing.
they really killed it, and this song really stood out, and I this was a great performance.
But yeah, continuing on up, it is Rad Whips with a Tenchi no Ko medley, I would say. And so I gotta be unbiased about this because I know someone in that performance. She was in the chorus for Grand Escape, and it was really good to see her. She's an amazing vocalist, and I'm very happy that she has done her. And we get to actually see her.
Nice.
She's on camera for a good bit, and I can't be. I have to be kind of unbiased with the song. It was great. I really liked the song, but that's all I can say about it because otherwise it'd be more about seeing my friend than anything else.
Mm-hmm. And I loved it. I thought the the vocals for the song were amazing. I mean, she was a fantastic singer, and I had to look her up afterward. I loved it. I loved the piano. I loved everything about this performance.
Yeah, she was absolutely amazing, and I actually really liked her song a bit more than I did the second song, but both songs were fantastic. And I really, real quick, want to talk about the stage that they were on, because I really felt it was really cool how they replicated like this, like, had like post-apocalyptic rooftop where Mother Nature's kind of taken back over, and you see like all these vines over everything, and then right below the stage there's like smoke clouds, so it looks like they're standing on top of a building. Like they really sold the effect really well, and it was a really cool stage to do this production on, and I really enjoyed both the songs, like I said, but I preferred the first song a little better. Like I thought like her vocal performance was just absolutely outstanding. She is really talented, and it was really nice to see her.
Yeah, and, I never watched Tenchi no Ko yet. We'll have to just wait for the international release. But
It comes out theater release this
January.
January. I want to say 15th and 16th.
Yeah, it's the
so by the
15th
time
and 16th.
by the time you guys are listening to it, it should be next week.
Yep.
So
I've got plans with my girlfriend to go see it. We're gonna go to theaters and watch it.
But yeah, Daijoubu it's such a beautiful song with elegant composition, and I can't wait to watch it in the theaters for it. So,
Same.
but continuing on up, it is the lovely Superfly with her song Flare, and I got a preference this much. I love the intro to this because my girl Total Erica, I love her so much.
That acapella
I do
opening was
too.
so
I
great.
got excited when I saw Toto Erika because I love her.
Yes. But this is the intro for the drama that she's doing. I believe it's called Scarlet, and Oshima Yuko is also in it too. So that's like double. That's like me from 10 years ago is like going freaking crazy right now. But
Internal girl screaming.
yeah, internal girl scream. Like the little 10-year-old girl in me is going crazy right now. Gotta let her out. But yeah, Superfly, just hearing her vocals just gave me chills, and I had wish. So they did 2 versions of the song, the beginning in acapella and the rest of the song kicking in later on. I just had hoped to listen to the whole thing acapellaed.
I did too because
Oh,
her vocals are fantastic and that woman can sing and the acapella really showcases that and just makes it so beautiful.
yeah, I 100% agree. The acapella part of the song really just really made this song stand out. And I mean, I liked it when the rest of the music kicked in. I really felt like the melody was really well done, but just the acapella part of the song was just so gorgeous,
Yeah.
so pretty and
Yes.
amazing. And it would have been a really really bold decision to do this whole thing a cappella. It really would have. Like that, it would probably been performance of the show had she done the whole thing a cappella, because that's bold. Like you go on like the biggest music battle competition and then you do your song a cappella and just really knock it out of the park. That would have been dope.
Yeah. So it's it's interesting. You know, her vocals are so well represented with this song, and I, I it made me want to get the song immediately. Honestly. So I was very happy to see that. And then continuing on, it is another song that is made by the lovely Yonezu Kenshi, and that is Misaki Suda's Machigai Sagashi. And our boy here went freaking Super Saiyan as hell for this song.
Yeah, he dyed his hair super blonde. But
And,
I now go ahead.
you know, this song is a great song. However, now I only want to see the song with a full orchestra behind it now. That's the only way I'm gonna want to listen to this song. It was fantastic with the full orchestra playing
Oh
behind
yeah,
him.
it was that was just amazing. And his voice with that whole orchestra, my golly. What a debut for the Kohaku. Holy cow.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you guys. That was really like the standout moment for me, was just like the orchestra and the way like he was able to sing with the orchestra, and how there vocally he was kind of able to play off of the orchestra and really just heighten his vocals. It just was a super well done performance, and I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, that it was fantastic, fan freaking tastic. But continuing on up, it is Maria Takeuchi with her song Inochi no Uta. And, you know, they did like a very, very interesting segment on her beforehand. And it was good to see that how involved she is with the music industry. And once again, like I said, she is one of the only artists currently to have sold a number one hit album in all three eras of Japan now, in Reiwa, Heisei, and Showa. And the thing is, I'm a little mad because I had wished she sung a different song. But that's just me personally. You know, Inochi no Uta has that haunting and powerful vocals that just grip you. And it is very interesting to hear. But I had wished that Plastic Love was played instead.
I you read my mind because I was the same way. I was hoping if she did this that maybe she'd do Plastic Love after as a melody, but she didn't. So I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, because Plastic Love is her best song, in my opinion. And one of the songs that she didn't have a music video for up until 7 months ago. And that
Yep.
song was released in the 80s.
Mhm. I agree. And that's one so many people internationally know about. That's the other reason I thought she'd sing it too.
But yeah, to each their own. I had wished that she would have sung at least Plastic Love, or at least mentioned it in her medley or something like that. But I understand with Inochi no Uta because it is the song that she did for Reiwa, and you
Yeah.
know, to have that good foot forward of the next generation, you'll have to sing that.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and it was a beautiful song nonetheless.
Yeah, I'll say I really really like this performance. The thing that really stood out for me though was the stage that she was singing on. Like I really really liked how she was in a forest. Like I really felt like they done like a great job of giving you like that foresty vibe, and like they had all these screens that were surrounding her, and so like as she was singing, like various weather conditions would play out. Like you'd see it raining 1 second, and then one another moment like it'd be fall and autumn, and so like you would see like the leaves falling and stuff like that. So you got to see like this really cool visual display. And I'm not too familiar with the artist, so I can't go and speak about that, but I felt like the song she did sing was really well done. Her vocals was really nicely done, and it was definitely worth watching.
And continuing on after that was full blown Olympic talk, and it was interesting. This is one of the last ones before they went to the Odyssey segment that they went full in with the Olympic talk here, and it's good to see because it gets to show the history of what happened, of why is it significant to be chosen and all that lovely stuff. But it went to Ikimonogatari with Kaze ga Fuiteiru. I love this version of Ikimonogatari. I understand that the new version they're trying to be a little bit more poppy, and some people might like that more than others, but this is the version of Ikimonogatari that I just love, and it's one of their best songs that they sung too. Granted, if they really wanted to be international, they could have just played Bluebird. But Kaze ga Fuiteiru, yeah, it's just amazing.
It is. I completely agree 100%, and I'm really glad they sang this one. I know they have other ones that are more international, but this song was just amazing, and it was just such a great place to put it with the Olympics coming up. But I can't speak enough about how amazing this performance was by them.
Yeah, they really, really knocked it out of the park. And her vocals for this track was just insane. I really was drawn in by the vocal work that she done on this song. So I thought they did an amazing job.
Yeah. And continuing on up, it is Yuzu. And it's interesting to see their medley special for this song. I haven't seen them since last year, and I haven't heard a peep out of them since last Kohaku. Yeah, they sung Eiko no Kekihashi and Seimei. It's interesting to see how these two songs were working, and it's good to see Yuzu. They are a simple duo, and it's good to have such simplicity to the event, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I thought these guys were great. They've been quiet all year. I'd honestly forgotten about them, and then they popped up on stage, and they really killed it. I thought they did an outstanding job. Like they just had like this really good chemistry between the two of them, and there was a nice charm to their songs, and they harmonized really well. It was just a really good performance overall. I felt like both songs that they did were standout singles, and hopefully they don't go all 2020 quiet, but we'll wait and see on how that one goes.
Yeah.
If anything, I guess we'll see them again next year.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job as usual. Their harmonization is always good, and I love that they play the guitar while they're singing. So, another great performance by them. So,
Yeah, right after Yuzu was a little brief stint of Arashi with their song Kaito. Now, this is the last song to have Yonezu Kenshi's name all over the hell on it. And it was interesting. The only way to have Yonezu Kenshi shown on the Kohaku was to show a video that was filmed on a different day for the song recording.
Yeah.
I'll say this much. With Kaito, whenever Kenshi composes a song, it's simply amazing as he really plays to the strengths of the vocalist that he's composing for. That was hint towards Misaki Suda, and then now it's plainly certain with Arashi here, and I just instantly fell in love with this song. It was such a simple beat with the rises just being as much as that needs to without overcompensating anything. It was just great. and I can't wait to hear this song being drilled into our heads as we watch the Olympics.
I completely 100% agree. I mean, when Yonezu Kenshi composes a song, it's just amazing. And like you said, he plays on the artist's strengths and the perfect harmonies that Arashi has in that song, and just the melody and how it flows so well. I just absolutely love it. And I'm really looking forward to this come Olympics, listening to this one over and over.
Oh, this is definitely a great Olympic song. It's so well done. There's a majestic feel to it, especially the way like the music plays in the background while Arashi sings. This song is amazing in so many ways, and it's one of those songs where I don't know if describing it or talking about it could really ever do it justice. It's just one of those songs where you have to hear how amazing it is. And it's just a really well done feature. And it was really cool that they did this in the Olympic arena, the stadium, to see it finished and complete, and them just singing out in the field. It was really, really cool. I thought that was a really great setting. And uh, it just it goes to show you why Arashi stands tall. It's why they are amazing as they are, and it was a really, really amazing performance.
Yeah, that's for darn sure. That's for darn sure. And continuing on up, it is the lovely Yumi Matsutoya with No Side. It's Yumin is has been in the industry for so long. I don't mind it. Her her best of albums were selling amazingly well, so I wasn't really surprised to see her back on the Kohaku. And it was such an great and elegant song. I can't wait to, actually go down and purchase this best of album. I still have not yet to. I need to try and go all over with this song. But yeah.
I thought it was a beautiful song, and like you said, Matsutoya Yumi has been in the industry for a long time, and I think she did a fantastic job. A very emotional song, as you could see the reaction from the crowd, especially the rugby team. They looked like they were in tears. A couple of them were. So, and I just, not too much more I can say. I just think she did a great job, and always look forward to hearing from her.
Yeah, she'd done a really, really good job. And I don't have too much more to add to this as well, other than I really thought the piano was really nice in this song. It stood out really well, and it was just an absolutely gorgeous song overall.
Yes, that's for darn sure. And going on up to the Prince of Inca, Hikawa Kiyoshi. And he sung two songs. He did the Daijobu song, which I knew he was going to instantly sing. And then he sung Genkai Teppa X Survivor. Now, I didn't know this, that he sung this Dragon Ball Super song. And it was
Yeah.
very interesting to see that, along with Goku. The voice actors
Goku
for
and
Goku
Vegeta.
and Vegeta came out. And it's so funny to see this. So he literally just sings the chorus for Daijobu Daijobu and then tonally shifts into Genkai Teppa X Survivor on top of a freaking dragon's head. Not just any dragon's head, King Ghidorah's old dragon's head. They bailed Toei out for this.
Oh yeah, this was a extremely memorable performance. Seeing that giant Ghidorah head just pop right out while he's singing on it the whole time. I think he had one of the flashier performances, especially with his outfit and the giant Ghidorah. But it was a great, fun performance. It kept your attention and kept you mesmerized as well.
Oh, I loved this performance. It was so great because it starts off when he's doing Daijobu. It's him, like you see like his upper torso, but he's behind like these screens and stuff. So like he does like the Daijobu, and then he has like one other line, And then when that's done, like the screens break away and it reveals like this golden dragon. It was really really cool. And this song is really really great. You wouldn't expect an Incan singer to actually be singing this song because it's such a rock song at the end. Like this song is just so rock heavy, but it's just a really great performance. And then it does show like Goku and Vegeta and like some Dragon Ball Super characters. Like I think it shows Goku fighting Jiro at one point, and so like you get to see that, but eventually because it's him on this dragon head, and there's two screens that are behind him, like to his right and left, that are playing this. Eventually, what happens is they stop playing the Dragon Ball stuff, and it just turns into a giant dragon. And I didn't know that was a Ghidorah head, and I thought, oh, they're just going for like a giant golden Shenlong. Like that's what I thought it was because the way that like they had the dragon's body in the pictures behind in the panels behind him. Like I thought like that's what they were going for, Shenlong. So. And I thought that effect worked really well, and the fact that he does this whole performance on top of a dragon's head is just really, really cool at the end of the day. Like, it doesn't get much cooler than this.
Oh,
It
no,
really
it
doesn't.
doesn't. It doesn't. But yeah, coming after Hikawa Kiyoshi, it is going to be the lovely Seiko Matsuda. So, I want to hear your voice or thoughts about this performance, Gray, because I understand she's just like Shinaringo, and she is very, very important to the industry. But the thing is, her stuff is generic idol stuff.
I could kind of see that. I did enjoy the first and third song. I thought the second song that she sung was kind of mediocre-ish.
She's
But
like she crammed like 4 songs in there.
yeah, but
her and Misai's melody was probably one of the longer ones.
yeah, it felt like it went on for a while. But I felt like she had a good voice. I felt like she held her own really well. I loved it when they had like the giant heart drop from the ceiling with her name on it, and I liked the Neon City skyline that she was singing in front of. I thought that was really cool stage work that they had done too. So it was an interesting, enjoyable number. It's not the highlight of the night, but I thought it was decent and really well done. She is a very talented vocalist, and I could totally see that.
So I'm very familiar with Matsuda Seiko actually, and she did a couple albums in the U.S. I did like the melody, however, you can tell it's very generic pop, but it was also nice to hear her do several of her more popular songs. And she's always a treat to listen to, despite that it is a little generic, some of her music. I love her vocals, and her outfit was absolutely beautiful as well.
That's true.
It was a very nice, relaxing, peaceful melody, and I think that's why it was one of those you just kind of chill and listen to.
Yeah, and continuing on up, it is the lovely Misae with her lovely medley. And it's interesting because she did 3 very, very popular songs, and the medley that she did really showed off her range. And of course, she had to sing everything. Everything is the winter song of the Heisei era, where they play this song today, every commercial, because of how iconic it is during the winter time. And it was just fantastic to see this, and such the icon she became, because she's a huge icon of everyone needs to love each other kind of thing. And you can kind of see that with everything if you guys paid attention, very, very much so. Granted, it did kind of get a little Vegas-y at certain points, but
I was gonna say, it's like, pay attention, man. They were hitting you over the head with some of it. Like, they're not subtle in some of it, which is, I mean, fine. I mean, that's fine. I'm not here to rag on that, but I was just like, whoa. I know what she stands for.
Yeah, and I actually like that she incorporated gay pride as or pride in general, just because it's something that is a hot issue all over the world right now with gay rights. And I like that she included as her, I guess, the backup vocalist dancers in there. They looked like they were trans.
Yeah, it was interesting that they brought this up, and it's mostly because they just legalized it. I think within the last year or two ago to have gay marriage. So it's interesting that they came very very far from what it was beforehand, and
Yes.
Japan being Japan, and they're very conservative. You can do whatever you want as long as you don't do it in front of me, kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they've come way farther than a lot of their other Asian countries by them. I give them props up for that, and I love to see all the support these artists are bringing to everyone. I feel like it's something they need because not everyone's always supportive. So seeing an artist like Mishia do this, especially on the Kohaku, shows me a lot of it's very respectful and nice, and something that makes me happy seeing her do. It, especially with all what's all going on in the world, as every country has their issues with things, and I'm just glad she is showing her support and did it in a very tasteful manner, which is what I loved. I love that she incorporated people that she supports into her performance. That meant a lot to me seeing that. So, I respect her a lot, and she is such a highly renowned artist in the industry with her vocal talent, her soulfulness, and has been around for so long. And as far as the musical performance was amazing, and I'm always glad when she brings the song Everything back, because that's one of my favorite songs. So I thought it was a great performance. Yes, it was a little Vegas-y with all the glitter and the glam. However, it really did stand out, and as one of the performers for the red team, I think she was one who really showcased a lot going on, you know.
Yeah, I'll say overall, I did enjoy her performance. For me personally, I felt like it was a really awkward transition from I Know Katachi to Into the Light. Like those two songs are really, really different, and they tried to smoothly transition into them. Does not work. It was just kind
Yeah.
of awkward the way that
Yeah.
worked.
I
really
agree.
awkward.
I agree with you on those.
It would have been better starting out with Into the Light and slowly going to I Know Katachi and then to Everything.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I Know Katachi would flow way better into Everything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. What like when they did that transition, like I almost was like I kind of cringed a little bit because I was like, that was not smooth. But I do think like she picked the best song to end on. I felt like Everything was a really, really amazing way to really wrap up the medley. I felt like that was the perfect song to end on. That was a really fun song to do and hear. So I felt like she knocked it out of the park there. And I do think overall, in spite of the rough transition between the first and second song, I think like her performance overall was very enjoyable and a lot of fun to watch.
And that was the last act for the women's, and going on to the last act of the boys, which is Arashi. They went on twice this year, and they sung their very first song, Arashi, and their latest song, Turning Up. And it's so interesting just to see the style of what happened, of where they were with Arashi, and going into Turning Up. I mean, they're my boys, and I can't be hard on them for such an excellent work that they've done for the industry. And they did harp on and touch on the fact that this is going to be their last year, to the point that they'll probably be involved with the Olympics, and they are involved with the Olympics to a certain major extent, and they are probably going to be involved with the Kohaku in some way or shape, but I don't know if they're going to be hosting. It'd be very weird if they don't, because they've been such an integral part of the hosting for the male side for such a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they are an act to behold, and they were the best for last in my mind.
I agree. This was a perfect way to end the night. This was, out of all the performances, Arashi was my favorite this whole Kohaku. The song they did with Yunosu Kenshi was amazing, and this performance was just blew me away. I was mesmerized the whole time watching them live, and showcasing, their debut song Arashi, and then transitioning into Turning Up was such a great transition, and I love Turning Up because it's a fun song. I'm so glad they grabbed one of their original and one from 2019 and just made it into a spectacular performance. Their dancing, their harmonies, just how everyone was excited and getting involved. This was the way to end it. And I look forward to them seeing what they're going to do for the Olympics. I just love these guys so much. Just everything about this. You need to watch this performance. I cannot talk about how amazing this was. You need to watch it rather than to listen.
Yeah, no, Luna's 100% right. This performance was absolutely fantastic and amazing. And my boy Show, I did not know that he could rap so well. Like, he really killed it. And I've got to go back to listen to more of their music because my boy, he's got some really, really good rap skills. And I loved his rapping in both of the songs. I really felt like he killed it there. And this was just a really, really, especially Turning Up was just such a fun way to end the night, to just, cap it off. This was, the end of the decade. It was the start of something fresh. And to have it with their first and latest, it was definitely something, just a really amazing way to end it. And I agree with Ken. It'll be interesting to see what they do next year and whatnot, because it'll be really weird without Arashi being there. They are almost synonymous with this at this point. So it'll be interesting to see how things shake out, but one can only hope that things stay smooth. But this was a fantastic way to end the night.
And with that, we get to the judgment part of the whole competition, because this is a competition. And who do you guys think won the night for you guys? Let's start with you, Gray.
For me personally, I really felt like the white team had the more notable performances, more standout performances, and more solid, hard-hitting performances overall. That's not to say that the red team did not have some stellar, amazing performances, because they had a bunch of them. But I think at the end of the night, white team just really brought it. I mean, they were there, they were on point. There's just so many songs that the white team did. Even though the white team had the Kodama song, like even though that one's there, you can kind of ignore that one. The rest of the whole evening was just fantastic, and I really felt like the white team just knocked it out of the park.
The white team being the male team and the red team being the female team.
Yeah, sorry. You're 100% correct. I should have clarified that.
And you, Luna?
White team, the male team, I thought they killed it for me. Yes, I thought the red team did a phenomenal job. I loved everyone's performance. I do think the white team had way more power and just the energetic songs they chose, especially with Arashi. Arashi is the reason the white team won. They sold it, they owned it, they took it home for the white team. And Johnny's in general, I think, did a fantastic, blown away job this year. That was my other reasoning for white team killed it. You just can't compete with Arashi, and a lot of those Johnny artists, they just blew it out of the park. Not to mention, you got Official Hige You got Masaki Suda. I mean, it was just an amazing list. And yes, the red team did a great job. I mean, I loved Shina Ringo, Aniki Monogatari, Mishia. Aiko. I think everyone in the red team did a good job, but it was the white team that brought it home for me this year.
You guys are completely correct. The white team won it for me this year also. Not to say that the red team didn't do very well, because everyone that debuted had such a strong showing. Hinatazaka, Lisa, they had such a strong showing this year, but that could go double with the white team with Official Hige, Kiss My Feet, King New, Generation, and Masaki Suda. Those debuts alone won it. And then with the icing on the cake being Arashi, that just killed the rest of what the red team had. It's not to say that the red team didn't have enough good artists. They had such a memorable experiences, but the white team just pulled their punches and went blow to blow with a knockout punch at the end. And it's a definitive sweep for us. It's funny because for the rest of the judges, the guest judges, they voted red. So it was very interesting seeing that. But the hall audience and the viewers in Japan voted white for the male team. So the male team won this year once again, and it was good to see the male team win. It'll be very, very interesting to see next year's one, because we get to see the blowout from the Olympics, and we'll get to see if there's any artists that rose to the occasion before the Olympics. In any case, we'll be very, very excited to see what happens next with the Kohaku, and I can't wait till next year.
Oh,
yep.
Kohaku 71 is going to be amazing.
Yes, it will be. It will be. We'll have a full year of Reiwa. We'll have a full year of artists that made to show what they are going to be the first step of Reiwa is. And I can't wait. I can't wait. And hopefully you guys can't wait too. And, thank you for joining us on our yearly tradition here. We got under 3 hours, thank God. So,
yes, thank you for joining us.
Yes, I want to say thank you. But yeah, you can find us at all the lovely things here. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at ongakudu. You can find the site at ongakudu.com. You can find our 2 affiliates, Koryu Hunter. He is a Twitch streamer who does love all the horror games. You can find him at twitch.tv/KoryuHunter, KYORYUHUNTER. And you can also find our other affiliate, Timbertav. He is a Twitch streamer in his own right. And you can find them at twitch.tv/Timbertav, TIMBERTFT. And you can listen to what I have to say about being an Amazon Prime delivery man on Podosaurus, which is the gaming podcast that I like to do with the both of them. You can check out by looking up Kokusai Koryu or Koryu Hunter on iTunes and Google Play. You can find everything on there. And we'll be recording our 3rd episode fairly soon, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I'm very excited to continue on with this year. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll kick off 2020 right?
Yes, we will.
But yeah, I want to say you can find me on Twitter at OTYKen1. You can find Rentford at RentfordD. Where can we find you, Gray?
You can find me at Ongaku Gray, where I tweet about anime, video games, and what I'm listening to. So just follow me there to stay up to date. I just got back into Monster Hunter, so expect some tweets and stuff about that coming soon.
And you, Luna?
You can find me as Luna Maria 87 on Twitter, Letterboxd, and my anime list. Or you can follow me on Instagram at Nerdy Collector Luna. I post about sometimes what I'm listening to, but mainly about movies.
But yeah, once again, I want to thank you guys very, very much so to listening to our special Kohaku 2019 episode. And we'll hope to see you next year. Saying thank you very much and have a great day. Aloha.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode on the Kohaku. Hope you enjoyed it and stuck with us for this whole thing. If you get a chance, please check out the Kohaku and let us know what you think as well. We look forward to talking to you guys next week. Ja mata ne.
And this is great. Thank you guys so much for this extra long special episode. It is a blast that we get to do this every year, and this is one of our favorite shows that we get to do. So we love you guys, and thank you guys so much for listening to it. So have a great year. Best start off to 2020, and we'll see you guys next time.